she went nuts. She ran into Hogan and Eric and slapped them.
What are you doing?
Dixie, you need to...
Shut up! I swear to God.
She demanded Hogan look at her in the eye and tell her he screwed her. Does she really need that? It's obvious. He said if you wanted to have this conversation, they could have it in his office, which, thank God, was mic'd. So after commercial, we got the big meeting. She was screaming at Hogan and Eric. At one point, she said, and I quote, "God dang it." Later, she called Eric Bischoff a shit, which was not bleeped off television. Hogan said, yes, I screwed you. She wanted to know why.
Yes.
You want me to look you in the eye and give you the answer?
Yes.
Yes, I screwed you out of your company.
Why?
Don't you get it, Dixie?
No, why?
From
He said,
one.
I don't know what he said.
No.
All I know is everybody, as usual on Impact, everybody was screaming back and forth, talking over each other, bitching. Long story short, she was mad. Hogan and Eric said it was their company now. She tried to have Gunner and Murphy, the most annoying characters in the history of television. And it's nothing against Gunner and Murphy. It's the fact that Gunner and Murphy exist. And they're mentioned by name to people like we're supposed to care at all who these people are. They are commanded to take Hogan and Bischoff away, but instead they take her away because you see, they work for Hogan and Eric now.
Crash out of my office right now. Get her out of here.
What the? What are
I
you
never
doing?
want to see her again.
Let go of me!
And as they're going away, there's a scuffle, and in the middle of it, Surge went down.
I thought it was Sarge.
Who is Surge, you ask?
I did, in fact, ask, who is that guy?
That is Dixie's husband. He's been on one show. It was a show that I missed.
I believe he was beaten up on that one, too.
Yes, and the point I'm trying to make here is I missed that show, and when I tuned in the next week, there was not a single mention, a single clip, a single recap of what happened to Surge. So I never got to see Surge get beat up, or even clips of it, because they never bothered to show us a replay.
Of course not.
Surge apparently really got punched in the face, by the way.
I'm fine with that.
And he went down, and again, this was the last we saw of Surge.
Perhaps he was killed. Perhaps he died. All I know is that Hulk and Dixie were shouting at each other the entire time, and I could not, for the life of me, understand a point that either of them was trying to make. All I know is that through body language and voice inflection, there was no way a person could watch this and not feel bad for Hulk and hate Dixie Carter. He came off like a victim, and she came off like a terror. At this point,
I was wondering, okay, so I realize that you stole the company under false pretenses, massive fraud. But what about, like, assaulting innocent people? Couldn't Surge just, like, sue Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff for everything they've got and get the company back that way?
I don't know.
I thought about that for 2 seconds, by the way.
I don't know.
Which is way more thought than they put into this.
At this point,